Alright, bonjour and aloha YouTube. So, guess who fell asleep trying to write down some cool YouTube video list for y'all. So, all this stuff. That's one, front and back. Two, front and back. And that's three, front and back. All for these YouTube lists I'm about to create for my upcoming YouTube videos. It's about three of them. So doing all that, all I did was close my eyes for about 5 minutes. Next thing you know, I was knocked out for about maybe an hour or two. So when I woke up, it also dawned on me that when I'm making these YouTube videos, I was thinking about that new update that YouTube gave for us, talking about the YouTube Partner Program and how it has a higher requirement now. At first, it was 4,000 valid watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. I already thought that was, I mean, it's fair, but it's very hard to do if you're a actual YouTube content creator making their own content versus people who are doing AI conforming to doing kid content, making those faces like and the reactions and all that lame, goofy stuff. And on top of that, I'm competing with other countries too. So, but speaking on those things, that also makes sense why YouTube added more watch hours. So, I'm definitely glad they did that. I'm definitely glad they did that for everybody. I know that sounds messed up, but a lot of people are getting over on YouTube, especially people who aren't from America. They're just making this slop content and making like the latest news content. You know, like how Asmongold does, some ordinary gamer, all them type of guys. They're finessing YouTube for easy views and for NPC content. You know, it's human made slop, if you will. Like how everybody's talking about, AI slop. They're making human slop, and then you see in the comments everybody's hyping them up and all that stuff, talking about nothing. These may not even be real people that we're looking at in the comment sections, or even them themselves. But they're real people though. But I'm talking about specifically the comment section and their view count. So, so that's why I'm glad they're doing that new program where it requires it started February 1st, 2027, that every single content creator, mm, somewhat, that like if you're already in the paid YouTube program, I think you just still have to keep your views up and everything. But mostly people like me who just started with this stuff, I either have to get 4,000 valid watch hours and 1,000 subscribers by February 1st, and if not, they're gonna step it up to about 8,000. So that's pretty rough. So that's 8,000 valid watch hours, and then in YouTube Shorts, I have to have 20 million. Like that sounds insane. I have to have 20 million YouTube Short views, valid people. So that's gonna be kind of rough. But not like I said, but that's a really good competition. It really puts us in that primal aspect of, I was gonna say you get to kill what you eat, but that's not really a good term for this. But I was gonna say this really shows who's the top creators in the world doing all this type of content. So even if they're finessing it, it's still a job. As in the people who's making like the AI slop and all that. So even if they're making that type of content, they still have to work for that. So they're not really, yeah, they're still finessing the system, but they actually had to use their actual creativity and they still had to work like it's a 9 to 5. They just worked in the wrong direction. Almost like a criminal, if you will, a career criminal. Like they still work very 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 hard. So that was pretty much it. That was just a quick video since I fell asleep and woke up. And I thought about how I was writing all this content down, and I'm pretty much doing it for nothing. But I'm pretty sure it's going to give me views eventually. But it is very, what is the word? Discouraging. I believe that's the word. It's very discouraging seeing that news, but then there's no extra benefits. It's just they just told us, hey, 8,000 valid hours and 20 million views in YouTube Shorts. So what it is right now, I have to get 1,000 subscribers. I have to get 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 valid watch hours, and if I want to do shorts, it has to be 10 million views or something like that. So I don't know how everybody's gonna do it, but it's, so if you can do it, salute to you for sure. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, nor have nor did I even really want to be a YouTuber for real. Seeing how I made all these videos, hour-long videos. I made about 11 videos in about 3 days of actual content. It's not like slop or anything. I made about an hour's worth of content each. Like at the very least, I probably made about a little 5-minute video like this or something like that, just doing a quick talk and update. But that news messed up a lot of people. That's gonna that like hearing that news, I'm pretty sure we lost thousands of YouTubers off of that news. Like that almost made me not want to post anymore. But I love competition and all that, so all this is just it's kind of fun to me. But I don't know how I still don't know. I mean, I kind of know how I'm gonna do it, but we don't really have a lot of creators don't have a plan for that because you can't really plan for that. How are you supposed to get 20 million views unless you're talking about things in real time like I'm doing? But even that, it has to be very very captivating and it has to be just me. You know what I'm saying? Which is good, because that's what YouTube is us. So once again, I believe that's a good thing that what they're doing because there's a lot of people finessing the YouTube algorithm and stopping people like me who are real creators from making actual content. Cause I just made all them videos and I only got about maybe 1 or 2 views, and I'm really, what is the word? I'm really producing a lot of quality videos and long form at that. So and y'all seen that paper? I'm still flowing. I had to write all this stuff down first because some of that stuff is I can't really. You just can't talk about. You just can't flow with that. I was saying how on Twitter I was talking about how this is pretty much the new rat race, if you will, or the new 9 to 5. It's pretty much because at first I thought they were joking around about them saying how doing this type of work is harder than the 9 to 5, but it really is though. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to think about the creative idea and look how many look at the requirements that we have to do. 8,000 valid watch hours, 20 million views in shorts. I recorded a few shorts and it got no views. So, but then on the flip side, there's one that got 1,000 views. So I don't, I can't say I don't know what's going on, but I don't really know. Like I know they're trying to keep people captivated and addicted to the screen, so they want to make sure that they can keep that. But everybody's kind of over technology now. So the only people that you're really entertaining is people that's addicted to their phones and all that, and they're keeping the bread and circus alive, if you will. So this is pretty much for all the people who's here to distract everybody. So if you can really, so they're pretty much compensating you for being a distraction to everybody. Because like if you're able to do this 8,000 valid watch hours and get 1,000 subscribers plus, you're probably doing magic. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds crazy, but you're probably doing some type of high level witchcraft on these people that's making them captivated. Because I'm unless you're doing like high level creativity, of course, and that's still magic. Because the only thing I could really see that will captivate people is science, tech, engineering, and mathematics. Like if you're in those fields, you could easily make shorts, because you're going into the cutting edge of reality. People like us, I guess you just have to really have a good personality. You have to have a really, really good personality and have to actually be talking about something that's worth a damn. So if you can survive this, you should really, really feel like a real creative and a real entertainer. Because this stuff is no joke. That's nothing to take lightly. And I recommend everybody try that type of stuff so you can really see how it is to be a content creator. Because I don't know how anybody's gonna do that 8,000 hours and all that. Now y'all gonna be seeing some silly content on here. Not on my page. I'm talking about from other people. Because you already see what they're doing now for the views. So either people are going to go to Kick, Rumble, and Twitch, or they're just probably going to be on here just spamming stuff. But it has to be valid watch hours. So therefore, it's gonna be interesting at the same time. But it's also gonna be cool because GTA 6 is coming out, and there's gonna be plenty of content for these people to make. Like I said, I was only on here to get an Xbox. So until then, I'm not buying anything. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I don't. I told y'all before, I'm a hater, if you will, and I don't look at other people's content anymore or listen to music like that. And for example, if y'all check it out on social media, NBA YoungBoy, he just said that he's only making 2 more albums after this, and he said he plans on never coming into the United States again. So once again, another weirdo rapper, rug pulling all the fans, and nobody says nothing. Nobody cares. And in fact, other other American traders are saying, "Oh, it's understandable why he would never come back." Every single other country is doing the same thing we're doing. It's just we're bold enough to not hide it, or they have enough respect to let y'all know that they're doing it. So it is what it is about that. They also said his heart is starting to be swollen, so he's going to need a heart, all that stuff. And of course, the people are still going to give, they're going to donate their heart to him, probably. Well, not probably, they will, but I don't know if they're qualified to give him that. And of course, he's so stuck up. He's not even going to want your heart. He's going to want the most expensive heart in the hospital or something of that nature, which is understandable. But it just goes to show that he wouldn't even want y'all organ. You know what I'm saying? That he don't even want to come back to see y'all at the concerts. And I saw a thing on social media. They called them clown certs, not concerts, but clown certs. CLOWNCERT, clown certs. Like where it's just pretty much somebody just jumping on stage and they're not even really saying the lyrics. They're lip syncing. So they're pretty much doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing that we're doing, just mouthing off the words. So once again, we don't even know if these people are making up their own music or anything. They don't even remember the songs. They come late to the shows and all that lame stuff. So, like I said, I don't listen to these people anymore. Like they just be on my Twitter feed or whatever. So, all right, that's 17 minutes. So once again, there's a new update for YouTube and creators. Starting February 1st, 2027, we have to get 8,000 valid watch hours, and then we have to keep our subscribers. I haven't got a single subscriber yet. I made videos for 3 months, giving out nothing but information and original content, long form content at that. I got 0 subscribers, 0. I may have got maybe 3 or 4 likes, but that's not shit. So that's pretty much 0. I got 0 cash apps. And then what's even worse, I'm filling out all the captions all the way to it gets to like 100 or something. Like when you type in the titles, they don't even let you type a full title that you want. It all has to be requirements. But yet, YouTube doesn't push us in the algorithm. And then we have to pay taxes on this stuff. We're getting ad revenue. But yet none of the ads are actually pushing us and all that. Like we're not getting pushed in the algorithm at all. Because there's too many people. They said this. I read this thing that says about 20 million videos are posted every single day. Every single day. I don't know how that's possible, but it's so many countries. It's so many countries and it's so many people now that I can believe it. Because at the very least, look at the content I'm posting, and that's actual content and all that. So people could just get on here and just yap like I'm doing, but I'm actually talking about. I actually have like a subject that I'm talking about. Some people just on here just like whatever, and then hitting post. So I don't like. Of course, I like the competition and everything, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna sell my soul, if you will, and make that like kid content and those lame live streaming things. Like I'm not gonna make facial reactions like and all that. I'm not doing that. I, that's for y'all, bro. That's for y'all little kids and all that. Cause I mean, not 100%, but I barely even want to look at my own content nowadays, like my old content. So, but that's because I kind of not kind of, but I review my content so much that I'm kind of sick of it. So I don't know if that's specifically because it's me or the content is trash, but I know that the content is quality though. But I don't really like my voice. Like it's like a I have a Maryland accent, so it's kind of like yeah 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 yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it gets kind of annoying after a while. But I'm a human, so I have to speak and all that. And that's why I really don't like getting on here just yapping. I rather talk about information. You know, like I said, I wrote all this stuff down, and I was trying to take a little break. And I wrote 3 pages, and front and back at that. So once again, I had to write all this stuff down. It took all day yesterday. Like all this stuff, I started around maybe 9 or 10 a.m. yesterday, and I had to write all this stuff down through my phone because like all this information is in my phone, and I just want to spread it. That's all. And but I be feeling so what's the word discouraged doing all this stuff because I don't get no views or nothing. And the next thing you know, I wake up to see news talking about 8,000 worth of 8,000 valid hours, and then on the other side, 20 million views. I'm like, ugh. Because, like I said, it was already hard doing this 4,000 valid watch hours. Now I got to do 8,000. I'm like, that's rough. Very, very rough. But it's good money in it, so I'm gonna do what I got to do. But I also don't want this to be a job. I really don't want this to be another 9 to 5 type of thing, but they're trying to turn it into that. And I also just want to kind of prove a point that the dead internet theory is a real thing because, well, not really the dead internet, but showing that you really can't be yourself on here or post the content that you want to watch or be the content that you want to make. So, because all that stuff is content that I genuinely want to make and spread knowledge to. But I want my content to be so good that even the trolls get on here and say, "Oh, well, that's good content," you know. Because I'm getting on here and some of the trolls are like, "Oh, the content's trash" and all that. And then you click on their page and see what they're doing. They're playing video games, doing those stupid little faces, all that type of stuff. And then what's even worse, they're not even playing good games. They're playing like slop. They're playing games like Among Us, that Melon game. Like they're just playing slop. Like they're making slop content, and then trying to flex on me with their views. They're trying to flex on me with their view count because they're making slop content. But you know that's part of their ego feeding. It's like the people who play Call of Duty Zombies and only run around in a circle, but then achieving, level 50, level 60, level 70, and level 80. And some people even beating the record for those zombie maps, like Kino der Untoten and all that stuff. But it's not real. But it's not real gameplay. You feel me? They're just doing something called training, and like a train, the vehicle train, and they're pretty much just chasing the person all around the map. But they're not. Once again, they're not even running around the map. They're just running in one spot, just shooting the zombies. and they think that's like real gameplay, or they think that's a real achievement just because they're still alive and winning. So, but like I said, I need to make content that's so superior that as soon as you see it, you should click like. So, and how I'm gonna do that? I'm gonna just keep posting knowledge and information, stuff like this. Once again, I showed y'all that prayer that I did during the during my morning routine. That's what that was. Like I said, I got all this information written down all over the place. All that type of stuff. But like I said, now I just gotta write it down on a full piece of paper. Like this. Like I said, all this knowledge that I just got just sitting around. All high level too. No jokes. So just really going in, man. So, and it's already 26 minutes in. So, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to post my next videos. Very, very good content. So, pretty much, I recommend everybody get started right now because it's not getting any better at all, Because at the very least, right now, we have to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. But people like me, not me 100%, but like with my type of work ethic and all that, they're still gonna post the same bullshit though. So that's kind of why I respect them for making that 8,000 hours, because yeah, they'll be making that type of slop, but they're still gonna be working though. There's still gonna be a lot of hard work. Still a lot of hard work that they're gonna be doing. Okay. So, and silly me, I thought, well, I didn't think this, but I kind of slipped up a little bit. I thought that the GTA 6 trailer was coming out this week, because I thought we was in the tens of the dates. I thought it was like what's today date? It's the 11th. So I thought it was coming up this week, but it's gonna be the next week. I believe. I think that's what, the 27th or something like that. So that's gonna be when we check that out. And I said things were gonna get a little weird around that time, starting to build up. And how I know it's gonna be something, not necessarily on Thursday, but overall, all the media companies, Say Cheese, Pop Base, Curico, all them type of little channels, they're doing the countdown. They're like, I think it was 100 days today, 100 days left till GTA 6 comes out. So something's definitely going to happen. And we don't know that Rockstar could be paying these people under the table to talk about this stuff. And we would never know. And then if they do talk about it, they'll probably sue them into oblivion, and they'll regret that 100%. So if something will go down, they won't tell us. So that's why I said in another video, definitely get ready and be prepared and learn your environment, because there's a small civil war going, not small, but there's a civil war going on that didn't really pop off yet. And it's just, I guess everybody's just waiting until the right moment or a valid reason to crash out. But yeah. All right, so it's 30 minutes. I'm gonna keep it going. Like I said, I just woke up. You feel me? I just woke up from doing all these long videos. I mean, creating all these long videos. charged up speaker. But once again, I'm not once again, but no more music though, because I made so much content I didn't realize that it was copyrighted. So I'm making all these people money, all this copyright claim content, but yet it's not getting any reach. So they're gonna leech off my views, just like I'm leeching off their song in a way. Even though it's not, the song is just a background for the video. It's really not leeching. It's just to get the point across. Because I don't make music, nor do I have the equipment to make music. So what y'all want me to do? I mean, I could make my own music. I could I could do some bullshit like that, but it wouldn't get the point across. You know what I'm saying? Because they have the proper equipment and all that stuff. I can't do that stuff with my mouth or on a wall or something. I could do like basic beats to. Like, but that's not really. That wouldn't get my point across. Because like I said, they copyright all this stuff and then it doesn't even go anywhere. So by the time I get the views and all that, they're gonna be like yoink every dollar. And then what's even more shitty, I have multiple people's songs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving Destroy Lonely money, I'm giving Cardi money, I'm giving Can money, I'm giving Summers money, I'm giving Diamond money, Teasers money. I'm giving all these people money, but then when I message them, they don't respond unless I'm trying to like beef with them and all that lame shit. Because everybody loves negativity and all that stuff. So, which is pretty gay. But they want they're so emotional. They want rank and all that type of stuff. In Maryland, we don't give a fuck about no rank and all that type of stuff. So, what I'm saying? We don't have gangs and all that. And we have gangs in neighborhoods and all that, but it's not. Nobody gives a fuck. So, all right. So I'm gonna give me another plate of food. I had a little KFC broccoli and all that. Fell asleep. Today is Tuesday, so happy Tuesday.